All right, joining us now is the Chief Patient Officer at the Wellness Company. Dr. Drew Pinsky is with us. I don't know, Dr. Drew, you're a lot smarter than I am when it comes to this. I know evil exists. To me, you have to be evil to do something like this. This is a, well-orchestrated assassination. Somebody has to have a very dark soul to kill another human being.
Oh, 100% true. And I think one of the things that has been exposed by all of this, regardless of who the perpetrator was, is there are many sinister forces afoot. For instance, just the fact that Charlie, who you see here, was somebody who stood for morality and truth. We have people in this country so brainwashed that they believe that is a sign of somebody consorting with evil. The reality is, when evil is done in a societal level, it's always done in the name of good. Not somebody like Charlie helping individuals. It's this colossal scapegoating mob action. You referred to the mass media mob a couple of times, and I completely agree with you. And one of the things that mobs do is they scapegoat. They first dehumanize. You mentioned that a couple of times too. And then they scapegoat. And once they're scapegoating, they go for blood. I'm of the opinion that one of the more powerful aspects of today was that we all witnessed this sacrifice. We bore witness to somebody giving their life to this insanity, and we cannot get over it. And I believe, and I think President Trump touched on this in his comments a few minutes ago, that what he is doing is turning the scapegoat to a martyr, which is in fact what can happen. And that's what Mark Levin was just talking about. Charlie has created institutions that will go on, and his memory will survive, and he can be a martyr in the name of good. Doesn't help his family, doesn't help his children, but we can make sure that he doesn't die in vain.
You know, Drew, I talk about dehumanizing people. I talk about, the fact that as a society, in many ways, I would argue that we've become numb to whatever people want to say about Donald Trump. I mean, I think an awful lot about blowing up the White House. It started there, or, a decapitated, bloody head held up by, quote, a comedian. Not that funny. He'd had a young child at the time. And I think about it, does this have almost like a hypnotic, indoctrinating impact on people's minds when you dehumanize someone at that level that regularly?
100%. Whenever mass murder has occurred, it's always been in a setting of dehumanization, always. I've noticed what people do with public figures these days is they turn them into cartoon characters, and they feel at their liberty to act out on them, again, in the mob of social media. But the reality is this is bad for everybody's soul. It is harmful. And as the Utah governor pointed out there, please look in the mirror. You would have been a prison guard in 1939. You need to find your better angels, to quote the governor himself. And Abraham Lincoln. Our better angels are in us, amongst us as a country. We can gather together. We have been through worse, but you have to find it, and you have to look honestly at who you are. If you were someone who yelled at somebody that they had their mask below their nose, or you reported a neighbor to the governor's hotline because he had a barbecue, you would have been a prison guard in 1939. And you need to know that about yourself. You need to check yourself. There are better angels there. Please bring them forward.
All right, Dr. Drew, great advice for everybody that's watching tonight. We appreciate it.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.